Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the webinar by VIIT Alumni Association in collaboration with WAV. The speaker today we have Mr. Manas Dodia. He is currently working with NVIDIA in self-driving car projects with customers such as Mercedes, Volvo, and Toyota. His interests are actively checking new technological advancements in automotive industry and IoT industry. He likes to travel and explore the various places and also loves to listen to good music. His passion is to work on end user products which impacts day-to-day life of consumers, look for how the user experience can be enhanced, what value it can add to the products, to the people's life. An extension to this passion, fortunately, he was working at Marvel. He had the opportunity to work on various smart IoT products which are selling on Amazon.com in the US. He got to see real-time user reviews and feedback that helps him to evolve better. Today, he will be guiding us on how to get the jobs in various tech domains in MNCs according to our core competencies and interests. Over to you, Manav sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Manas Dodia. So I'll be talking upon the trending jobs in MNC in tech domain and mapping them to our core competencies of the engineering fields. So this will be the agenda for today's webinar. So we'll check like what basic background is required to get job into the MNCs, what are new trending jobs or new domains in tech MNCs, how we can map the core field competencies to those, what should be our thought process to select a job while applying, and then I will go through a case study of self-driving cars and the related jobs for that. So this can help you to think about how you can map your core field in core engineering fields to the latest jobs. So we'll get started. So like you can see on the right hand side of the slide, there are like few big tech companies which we all dream of to have a job. And it's not that these tech companies are only working with software. There are many applications that your core engineering fields such as electronics, electrical, and mechanical, all those are applicable there. So to get a job at these companies, the bare minimal requirement is like you need to have any one of the programming knowledge. So mostly like if you want to go into the development part, the C++ are the main programming languages which you want to work upon for the products. And if you want to take jobs apart from the development domain, then the scripting languages, I will recommend the Python as scripting languages for these companies. Then what these companies look for in the people is like what all projects you have done at the academic level, what are your hobby projects, if you have any research publications published as a part of your curriculum, then if you have any internship experience. So this also matters the most. And fortunately at VIIT, you all guys are getting like 6 months internship experience. So that's what will benefit you. And they also look for what you contribute in the open source domain. So we'll see like what all things are there. So uh, now what are new trending jobs or new domains in tech MNCs? So all the companies which you have seen in these slides, those are actively working upon either AI or data science. Like you must have been had many sessions about this. So I will just shortly brief about this. And then there are domains such as robotics, self-driving car, Internet of Things. There are cloud computing. Then there are different DevOps domains. Then different companies work upon verification and validation of things. And if you want to find out more like what all domains are trending and what all these big multinational companies are working upon, then you should always look for the Gartner hype cycle. So on the right hand side of the screen, you're seeing the Gartner hype cycle of August 2019. Gartner is a company which does the like technological and all other company analysis. It's a basically business analyst company, and they come up with the charts such as like what all are emerging technologies. So usually the timeline they come up with those charts are like in August. So you can get to see one of the charts in this August 2020, like what all new things are there. And it's not just limited to technology companies. If you are interested into any other companies, then also they have different charts for that. So here you can see what all what all different domains are getting higher higher acceptance by most of the companies, and most of the companies working upon. At the midpoint of the part is like a graph. Most of the major companies are working upon that, and there are few areas which were at hype at the starting of earlier years, but now those are not at that much hype. So you can see like you can check the different years charts, and you can map what all things are trending. Like you can say, you can check for 2017, 18, 19. So last 3 years, what these graph trends to, and what is the constant thing over all these three graphs. So you can pick that domain, and you can check for that jobs in that domain. So now core field competency mapping. You can pick any one area of interest, like what you want to work upon based on this hype cycle or the different domains you like. Then go into the details, like what all companies are. Let's say you select let's say I'm working upon the self-driving car project. So I will be giving a case study for self-driving car projects ahead. So let's say you pick a domain, you check what all companies are working in this area, what things they are doing. They have many research papers available online on their websites, so you can check that. You can see like what all core domain knowledge can be useful in that area. You can connect with like relevant people on the LinkedIn, those who are actually working on those area. You can get mentors from alumni, your friends and acquaintances on LinkedIn. You can check what all open source work is being done in that area. So GitHub is the like most popular open source repository where you can see all the works being done for that. And you can also search for like research papers via IEEE and Science Direct and multiple domains. Those are few things, and you can try to learn from that, and you can contribute to the open source. So this will show your actual work while you are doing a curriculum activities, and this can help you stand out from the crowd for when you apply for a job. So what should be like thought process to select a job when you are going to apply a job? So I have contributed, like I have distributed this into two parts. Either you can check for everyone has a thing like I need to work at this dream company, or another thing is I need to work on my area of interest. So let's say if you pick a company that you want to work for, XYZ company. Now you can subscribe to newsletter of that company, what all things they are newly working upon. You can check via their blog post, LinkedIn post, and their company websites. You can map with your interest, and you can pursue that interest, like what all things you want to you can contribute for that company's work. And then based on all these, you can select your projects for that company specific. So I will give you example of Intel here. So Intel have multiple development boards. So like BeagleBone, Panda boards. So these boards. So you can use these boards and create some mini projects in your second year, third year projects. So that will give you a confidence that you can work on the concepts that these industries are working upon, and it will help to highlight your projects when you apply for a job. Second is like area of interest. So in area of interest, you can pick one of the area which are area and domain which I have shown here in the Gartner hype cycle. You can find out what all companies are working in that area. You can explore what all latest work is being done in that area. If you understand correctly the work being done in that area, you can challenge the existing methods, like how they are approaching, and you can do some modifications to that methods and contribute to the open source via your projects. And you can adapt to the global trends, like where all companies are moving, what all things they are learning, like what are the prerequisite, and you can translate those into some miniature projects, like what you want to do as a part of your curriculum. So all these things will help you to stand out in a job application. So let's go through a case study of self-driving cars. So I have a small video to show to all of you.
I'm Danny Shapiro. I'm the Senior Director of Automotive at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a technology company that's developed a lot of different computing platforms. Specifically, we've developed an AI supercomputer for self-driving vehicles, whether cars, shuttles, trucks, or any kinds of other vehicles that we'll soon see on our roads and maybe even in the skies above us. NVIDIA is not making cars, but NVIDIA has its own fleet of self-driving test vehicles. dubbed it BB-8 as a robotic, advanced robotic vehicle. And we're testing those here on the streets in California, out in New Jersey, in Germany as well. Well, we've been working with the auto industry for almost 2 decades now. In fact, every car, truck, plane, or other mode of transportation, and even consumer goods are designed on NVIDIA graphics, hardware, and software systems. About a decade ago, we started bringing our technology into the car. We started working on infotainment systems and digital cockpits and head-up displays. More recently, though, our technology, because of the role we're playing in artificial intelligence, is being used for self-driving vehicles. So instead of us generating information out in the form of pixels on displays, we're also now processing information coming in. So radar, LiDAR, camera information all comes in to the NVIDIA system, and we're using artificial intelligence now to make sense of it. Now we have a specific product just for vehicles, and it's called DrivePX. It's an AI supercomputer that has the power of over 150 MacBook Pros, all in a very small form factor, about the size of a license plate. Essentially, all the inputs come in to the DrivePX, from cameras, from sensors like radar and LiDAR and ultrasonic, all generating data. So our processor has to take all this information and make sense of it. Basically identify what's another vehicle, what's a pedestrian, what's a crosswalk, what's a sign, and all this happens within a fraction of a second. We have cameras generating 30 frames every second. We have to analyze those frames and understand a full 360 environment around the vehicle. The GPU, or graphics processing unit, was invented by NVIDIA in 1999. This is a massively parallel processor, and it's different from a CPU, or central processing unit, that you find in your PC. You've probably heard a CPU described as a dual core or quad core. And so essentially that means there's 2 lanes or maybe 4 lanes of information that will flow through that CPU at once. The GPU, on the other hand, has now over 5,000 cores. So imagine if this was a highway instead of a 2-lane highway or a 4-lane highway, we now have 5,000 lanes. So a lot of traffic, a lot of information can go through that processor simultaneously. And then we're able to bring all that computational horsepower down into the car in the DrivePX to be able to process all the sensor data in real time. DrivePX 2 is one of several products from NVIDIA that are all using deep learning. So we have the system for the car, but other people who are developing can develop on a PC. You can use deep learning in the cloud, or our embedded device called Jetson if you're a hobbyist or a maker. The benefit of this unified architecture is, again, you develop on one platform and you can deploy it on any platform. And so I think that's the challenge today, is for students and now the industry to develop new algorithms, new deep neural networks, and leverage AI to build a complete self-driving car system that is specific to the vehicle. Given the types of jobs out in the marketplace today and the lack of talent, I think there's a lot of opportunity for anyone just getting started who can take courses to understand the fundamentals of computing today. And now there's a whole number of things that are unique to the self-driving challenge. So understanding the complexity of what happens throughout the computing pipeline of developing a self-driving car will be essential to getting a job in this industry.
So as you said, this is how the self-driving cars works. This is a brief intro for self-driving cars. So as you have seen in the video, there are multiple factors coming into picture. So it's not just the software that's being worked upon. So there are hardware such as different sensors, camera, radar, LiDAR, and there are different image processing and signal processing algorithms that are helping to do driver monitorings. There are some audio engineering concepts to have what speech recognition things. So you can break down to these multiple domains by picking one of the domain as a self-driving cars, and then you can see like what all things are required for that company, that domain itself. So again, for mechanical engineers, like there will be the hardware designing, car designing of the car designing is one of the main factor. Then another part will be like the thermal analysis of things, uh, where to put all the harness. So these are like basically self-driving car jobs available in the market as of now. So you can see from hardware engineering point of view, there are jobs such as harness designing, chip designing, like you have seen the whole platform is just a license number plate much. The dimension of the platform is just as that of a license plate. So you can see how much efforts are going into the chip designing industry. Then you can there are jobs for signal integrity. So here you need to check out all, like it's a PCB ultimately, so all the routes are having proper signals. You need to have current and voltage measurements and all the power consumptions happening. This is like in self-driving cars, it will be operated by batteries. So battery power is usually used for the cars domain. But let's say you pick any other jobs such as IoT or any industry. So at that time, the real-time connectivity plus the power management will come into picture. So you can boil down to different areas. What are the bare minimum requirements for that? Then coming back to the self-driving cars jobs, there will be the sensor calibrations, power optimization, and many more. Like you can think of, and it's already there in that domain. So this will help you to like enlist what are your, let's say you're interested into hardware, then you can go through for that domain what all hardware requirements are there. Let's say if you're interested into software engineering, so what things are required for software engineering in self-driving cars? So it's like you need to develop different algorithms, you need to have machine learning capabilities. Then there are many image processing and speech processing that we have just seen in the video. To test all these algorithms, you need to have some graphic designing experience, or you need to create the simulator environment, because since self-driving cars are like life critical things. So first, before taking the car onto the road, we need to check if those work well into the simulated environment. Then there are different cloud computings. So the teams are spread across the world at different locations. So all the data need to be in cloud, and how cloud computing is used for accessing everything and the parallel development things. There are DevOps domain jobs. So those are there, and there are many more for software engineering. And these are like specific to, let's say I'm working at NVIDIA, and these hardware and software engineering jobs are there. And similar jobs will be available at different companies which are working on self-driving car domain. And you can also check if you're not fitting into these two domains, you can check the partner company job. So let's say I will give you example that I'm currently working with Mercedes, Toyota, and Volvo projects. So Volvo are having trucks, Mercedes are having their cars, and Toyota is also having their cars. So what are the partner companies are doing? Because there it's not that a single company is doing everything. There will be collaboration from multiple companies. So you can check the allied partner companies, what they do, what OEM customizations they do. So OEMs are like original equipment manufacturers. So ultimately the car will be from car companies, and all those tech companies will be supporting to that domain. So you can check like where your interest gets mapped into that particular thing. uh, there are like just to continue with this case study, there are multiple companies which are working on self-driving cars. So some are working on just one of the software piece, some are providing end-to-end solution, and like some there are many online courses and resources are available if you want to check the jobs available at these domains. So there is like I have linked one good course here which is from Udacity. This will give you the basic understanding about how self-driving cars works and what all things are there. So I will give you a brief overview about that to you all. So in self-driving car there are like specifically there are three domains that we check. So there is a perception, there is localization and mapping, and there is planning and control. So in perception, most of probably what happens is like you get data from the sensors, and then you classify that data. If the object in front of the camera or radar is person or a vehicle, or it's any other objects like roadside cones and everything. So that comes like visual analysis and classification comes into the perception. Localization and localization and map planning does help in locating where your car resides in the environment. So you will have like we have Google Maps in our phone. So there are different companies like here TomTom who create those maps, and those maps will be pre-stored in the car, and then where the car is in the real world, that can be located via localization. And there is a planning and control where the actually car gets driven. So planning and control will get input from localization and perception domain, and then you will have the car driven. So in that driving of car, it will be required like you have to be knowledge of mechanical things, and then how the maneuver will happen, how steering is calibrated, at what steering angle the car should turn, and those everything. Like I'm not able to show these stuff into the slides just because like we are working on NVIDIA internal, so I just can't share those contents into the slide. But yeah, I can talk about that. So that's one of the part. And so this is a case study for self-driving car. So if you want to, these videos are already available over YouTube. So these are open source videos. You can check different domains and different companies, like what all works is being happening. And then you can do analysis like where your core area of interest matches with those companies works. And then you can selectively target those companies. And if you have created any projects at your academic level, let's say second year, third year, or even your final year projects, which is a bigger project, that can help you to land job into these tech companies. It's not that necessary that these tech companies look only for the master's students. So MTech or MS is not necessary. They do pick BTech students as well. But the first priority for those companies are like it's IITs and NITs. So it's not that our college is not good. It's the very best college that we get the curriculum information about. But since like if those companies are not able to identify you via college or everything, then you have to do the manual job to apply and look for job at these many companies. And then based on your projects and what you have chosen, it will give you a standout point from the crowd. So to dig down more into the self-driving car domains, I have one more backup slide for you. Like it's another video. Like this shows how we do simulation of the real world scenario and how we test the vehicle. So my profile is software QA engineer here at NVIDIA. So we create these simulation scenarios, and we try to check how the car behaves and how the software behaves in the simulation first. And this helps like basically I'm from the electronics background, so it's not that I'm just working upon the software. Ultimately this software is interacting with hardware. So you need to check if the sensor data is correct or not, if there are any like short circuits on the board, or if there is any rerouting happened due to malfunctioning. So all these things at that time your core domain knowledge will help, and that will help you to stand out in the crowd from companies. So people, so these many tech companies do look for the multi-talented people and multi-domain knowledge expertise. So, video that I want to show you. So here you can see like how its simulation environment is created. We design the scenarios and how the car runs in that simulation environment. So what hardware in loop simulation acts as is that we have the hardware where the different software and algorithms run, and then how the different cars behave in that scenario, we can simulate same in the simulation.
So here you can see like how the real world environment is created in simulation. So here you can see like how we map the we place the like dummy cars on the scenario map, and then how it looks in the real world scenario. And you can create different scenarios which are not possible to test at the moment in the live roads and actual runs. So here you can see how the actual car gets driven into the real world. This we do testing in US Santa Clara, and this is how it is getting driven into virtual world. So this shows like how different scenarios get simulated: night driving, rainy weather, the heavy sunlight or fog weather. Yeah. So this is how you can like you can search for the.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So this is how you can like search for different white papers and visual informations like through videos or any blog post available for a particular domain. In these like what are new Gartner domains mentioned in the Gartner hype cycle, and then that way you can boil down to things that where your core area of interest remains, then what field you are working on, either you are a mechanical or electronics or computer science engineer or IT engineer. Then you can map what all go to the companies working on those domains, check their career website, what all different kind of jobs are available there, and then what all are the requirements for those jobs. You can check those things, and then accordingly you can work upon the targeted area of interest or the dream company that you want to apply job for. And this is how it can help you like your core domain knowledge is definitely won't go in vain. It will be very useful to stand out from the crowd, because you know the software as well, and then you know your core field as well. So based on different jobs, you can analyze like what you can check. So, so these are like different links for the companies those are working on self-driving cars, and there are many open source projects or courses and projects over Udacity and Coursera that you can do for these jobs. So I have given example of self-driving cars. You can pick. I had worked upon the IoT domain as well, so where I did the smart switches, smart toys, and then all those like voice activated things such as you see Alexa and Google Home. So we have I have worked upon all those things as well. So you can check the real life applications surrounding to you, what all those applications, and you can try to simulate those things and dig down that what all information goes into these applications and what all skill sets will be required for these applications. So pick the area and then you can go into the details for that. And for the last, like just I want to give you a quote from Sachin, like don't stop chasing your dreams because dreams do come true. So just have the dream and have faith in your abilities, and you can work magic into these tech companies. So uh, it's not that that these tech companies will require only students from masters or any specializations done. You can also get a job here. So you can see, like I have worked. I'm graduate from VIT, and now currently I'm working with NVIDIA for past 3.5 years. So that's a little bit content from my end. So we are open for questions. Like I specifically wanted to have more questions, so that's why I kept slides short.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really interesting. Let's start with the Q&A session. We have one question here. What are opportunities for freshers in the domain such as cloud computing, AI, etc.?
Yeah. So for freshers in the cloud computing domain, you need to see the AWS fundamentals, what AWS is, and how you can communicate with cloud. So I will give you example of our mobile phones. Since we all are using the smartphones, we see that we get the cloud over the air updates for the different firmwares or different security patches. So those things work as a you can check the application and then go back, trace back how it is being driven via cloud. Search for those things over internet. Check the different research papers available for that.
Okay.
And yeah.
Our next question is, the gaming industry is growing fast in India nowadays. Any view upon that about gaming industry?
Yes, gaming industry is growing up very fast in India. We all agree with that. So there are different games, game creators like software companies such as Ubisoft, Sony. Those create the games. There are companies such as Nvidia and AMD which provides you the graphics card to accelerate those gaming experiences and have the high performance gaming. So there are like if you pick a job, if you pick a domain as gaming, then there will be jobs for like hardware. How can you accelerate the hardware more? How the performance can be increased? There are different things such as FPS, latency. You can check those terminologies and have more in-depth knowledge about those. So those will help you. And yeah, certainly like gaming industry is continuously growing, and particularly in India. And due to this pandemic, since we are in all in the lockdown state, so all students and hobbyist persons are more interested into gaming as well. So yes, it's a increasing domain.
Okay. Our next question is, are you working on automation car feature like Tesla in NVIDIA, planning to build such feature?
Yeah, we are working upon the automation car fleets. So what I'm working upon currently is like what I have shown you in the simulation. So we create the maps here, different maps. We map the real world scenarios to that. And whatever, like I'm working as a software QA engineer here. So I get the software delivered from development team, and I validate those software into the simulated environment and with actual licenses. So we have the car setup at like I'm currently working at NVIDIA Pune. So we have car setup at Pune, and there are multiple cars available in NVIDIA US as well. So we do actually check the live sensors, how calibration is working, because we need to make sure that all data is coming from those sensors is particularly correct. So in simulation, what happens, like we assume certain things, that the cars are calibrated and we are getting the correct data from sensors, virtual sensors. But in real sensors, you need to have like if all data is getting correct or not, if any sensor is getting corrupted. So at that time, my electronics domain knowledge helps me to identify and debug those issues.
Okay. The next question is there any chance of launching autopilot cars in India, considering the traffic situation and different types of roads?
Yeah. So currently, there are no chances for launching autonomous cars or autonomous vehicles in India, uh, because the question is right, considering the traffic situation and things. So basically, to drive a car, what is required is like we need to have some traffic rules in place. We need to have different lanes where car can drive. We have the traffic signal should be working, and all the other surrounding environment should follow the rules, traffic rules. So these are like bare minimal requirement to move from you driving the car to autonomously driving car. So currently the target market is for US, Europe and Japan only for now. Like at least this is target market with NVIDIA. So different companies are working there. So but majoritarily the global target is this, and China have different companies such as Baidu, which work end to end into their own environment. So usually China is a bit resistant to allow different companies from other manufacturer or other tech companies to perform work in their country. So that's why it's not there.
Okay. Our next question is by Sham Solanki. He says, are these simulation softwares created by NVIDIA?
Yes, so there are multiple companies which create simulation softwares. So what I have shown you in the video, it's the in-house NVIDIA created simulation software. There are multiple companies such as IPG car maker, or even you can have the GTA simulation, GTA gaming simulation engines. So there are such companies which dedicatedly work upon the graphics designing and simulation creation. But what NVIDIA is using is their own in-house simulation environment.
The next question is, sir, can you please share general idea of DevOps?
Okay, so the general idea of DevOps is like you can assume like in a class, you are in a classroom, there are 70, 80 students in a classroom, and you all have given a single project to work upon. So you will be working upon multiple areas. Each area will be decided in a group of, let's say, 3 or 4 people. Multiple people will be working on that. So you'll be submitting your code, and let's say you're working in a software project. So you'll be submitting your code there, and all those code need to get built into a final end product. So DevOps come into that picture into there. So in DevOps, you will be having continuous integration and continuous development. So they call it acronym as CI/CD. So the continuous development will go on, that different teams will work upon the area, and their code should not hamper the modifications or other modules developed by different teams. So there comes DevOps into picture, and there are dedicated companies which create DevOps software such as Atlassian, where you have the Jira clouds and end-to-end integration. There are CI/CD pipelines for GitHub as well. They have since GitHub is acquired by Microsoft, so it's again internal to them, and those CI/CD pipelines used by many companies in the market. So particularly DevOps is like you need to build something as a collective, and you need to ensure that at any given point of the time that build is completely in a sane state. It's ready to use by any end user or customers. So what happens in DevOps is like you continuously develop the modules, and DevOps will take care of all the automation and automated CI tests. Like there will be unit tests or some regression suits that are running in DevOps. So DevOps ensure like main role of DevOps is to ensure that your at any point of time your build is deliverable to either consumed by internal company or the external customers.
Okay. The next question is by Swapnil Kotkar. He says, I have basic knowledge of C, C++, Python and SQL. I am a bit confused to choose my interest in all tech fields. So suggest me which field is best.
Okay, so like as per the like hype cycle you have seen, almost all of the fields are best. Just that just see that what you have worked upon in the academics, that will benefit you while creating the resume and applying jobs for different companies. So based on your mini projects in the like second year, third year, or the final year project, you can scale up upon that and see what those works are being done by other companies. So just to give you an example that what I have done. So I am passed out of 2012 batch at VIIT. My final year project was we created a automated parking system where we developed a miniature robot, and it was parking between two different cars. So I was always fascinated by cars. So you can check the interest, like what do interest you have, and based on that you can scale up where you want to land up in the tech companies.
Okay. Next question is, would you give us any tips to crack the interview?
Yeah, so tips to crack an interview is like you need to in those tech companies there will definitely one full length interview of 1 hour or so on complete software development or the programming language. So you need to practice your coding first. Then let's say if you are from non-software, like non-computer background, you are from electronics background, so they will check like how what all curriculum you have studied. They will ask for you questions from that. So let's say you're applying for a I will pick a case and then explain you how interview goes on. So if you are applying for an image processing job, so first it will be like how you have worked upon in software. So all like Python, there are different image processing libraries available in Python. So how you are well versed with those. So they will try to check, and they will give you a sample program to write, and they will evaluate based on that program. So that is one interview part. Another interview will be based on your core knowledge. So your let's say you're graduate from electronics background. They will check your image processing principle. So all those signal systems, digital signal processing, all filter synthesis, all those will help you. So all those subjects that you study in your curriculum definitely going to help you in those interviews. So you need to have those background knowledge clear. All concepts you should be clear.
Okay, thank you. That was a wonderful session, sir. I hope we have covered all the questions from our students. Now I request Professor Poor sir to take over for the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Manas, for delivering such wonderful and informative information and guiding our students to in a way to map their core competencies into a trending job. I'm sure this will help all the students who are passionate about and searching for a good job, right? A dream job. Thank you, Manas. Thank you. And I declare this session is complete. And Manas has already given answer to all the questions. Thanks from all the students. Manas, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. I would like to end this session with your permission. Thanks all for attending this session. Thank you.